Man, let me tell you, I know the Ravens glad Lamar back in the lineup. Oh man. So with that aside, we got two backup quarterbacks possibly getting another chance, another crack at a starting position. But hey, we're gonna break it down. What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advance Sports Talk. All right, so we back again with the Primetime breakdown or Primetime recap, whatever you want to call it. I still haven't settled on a name for it, but nevertheless, all right. We about to start this off with the Baltimore Ravens versus the Miami Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. All right, so Ravens stomped the Dolphins. There's no getting around it. They stomped the Dolphins 28-6, and it's a good thing that they was able to really kind of remember who they are, because they got a long hole to climb out of, a long way up and a deep hole to dig themselves out of. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens with that. Now, granted, the Dolphins are 2-7, so it's like you would say, all right, well, 2-7 team, they supposed to beat up on them, but nevertheless, it's supposed to be, nevertheless, we know the Dolphins have that potential to be explosive. Just because Tyreek Hill hurt, don't mean they don't got playmakers. But nevertheless, let's get to these stats. All right, Lamar Jackson, 18 for 23, 204 yards, 4 touchdowns. Tua Tagovailoa, 25 for 40, 260 yards passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Derrick Henry, 19 carries for 119 yards. Man, Devon A-Chain to A-Train. 14 carries for 67 yards. Mark Andrews, 2 receptions for 22 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those were red zone plays. That's what that was. That's why he had 2 touchdown catches, but only had 2 catches in the game. So yeah, Jalen Waddle, like I said, they got playmakers. 6 receptions out of 9 for 82 yards passing, or 82 yards receiving. Yeah. Man, yeah, this ain't the Dolphins' year. Shut down, retool next year. They got a culture problem down in Miami. So yeah, when you got your quarterback calling people out publicly on the news, in the media, like, yeah, that's a bad sign. So yeah, because once you start doing that, then you have the conversation of, does your team really play for you and all that stuff. It's just a lot of ugliness. All right, next game we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Washington Commanders, and let me tell you, the Commanders really fought to try to get back in this game. Almost so hard to the point where Jaden Daniels ended up leaving it on the field. Literally, he's ended up suffering a dislocated elbow, and just looking at that just made me want to fold my arms for the rest of the night. Like, ugh. But nevertheless, Seattle beat the Commanders 38-14. Up to the fourth quarter. He was trying to make some plays. Yeah, Sam Darnold was back in the lineup. 21 for 24, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. All right, look at that. Trying to recapture that momentum that they had when they played the Bucs. Jaden Daniels, 16 for 22, 153 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. That's pretty much all they did. But yeah, Jaden Daniels was on a run. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 8 receptions for 129 yards. Damn. Chris Rodriguez. Okay, 65 yards rushing. Jaden Daniels, 51 yards rushing. Both of them got a touchdown apiece. On Jaden Daniels' last run was when he was tackled and he tried to brace himself with his hand, and it ended up going in a direction that the elbow is not meant to go. So, yeah. Now I went, of course, anytime an injury happens, Brian Suter pops up on my For You page. So, I went over there, and let me give a shout out to that guy, man, because that dude really knows his shit. Because for him to be able to diagnose it by eye like that through the TV, release a video minutes later, breaking the whole thing down, and then it comes out days later that's exactly what he said. Like, man, yo, head over to that dude's channel and man, give him a sub, man, because that dude, that guy is his knowledge of sports-based injuries is on point. All right, but yeah, nevertheless, Seahawks beat the Commanders 38-14, and you know what? That's what threw everybody off right there. That had to throw everybody off, because the Seahawks now got more wins than everybody else. And so because they got elevated and we beat them, the Bucks beat them, that elevated the Bucks over them. Then the Eagles beat us, so that elevated the Eagles over them. And that right there is what solved the mystery of how the Eagles and the Bucks slid into first and second place without even doing nothing, because both teams was on a bye this week. Man, that's crazy. All right, next we got the Arizona Cardinals versus the Dallas Cowboys. Cardinals beat the Cowboys 27-17, and man, yeah, Marvin Harrison passing touchdown. Who was this? Oh, Marshawn Kneeland block punt return for a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett rushing touchdown. Hold up, Jacoby Brissett. That's right, yeah, because Kyler Murray is he got a foot injury. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, 21 for 31, 261 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Quarterback rating of 115. Okay, shit. I mean, yeah, Jacoby Brissett is not exactly bad, you know. Like, yeah. Dak Prescott, 24 for 39, 250 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's see, Amari DiMacario. Okay, so I guess they put him back after that horrible fumble a few weeks ago. Let's see, Javonte Williams, 15 carries for 83 yards, 1 fumble. I just talked about. Oh, my bad. DiMacario had 79 yards rushing. Marvin Harrison, 7 receptions for 96 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 7 receptions for 85 yards. And speaking of CeeDee Lamb, this ain't the video for it, but I'm gonna touch on it just a little bit. Stephen A came out with his A list, and the first 4 I had no problem with, but he put CeeDee Lamb on the list and said you got to respect his contribution. All right, I get all of that, but George Pickens had way more of an impact on that team. And yeah, but nevertheless, like I said, this ain't the video for it. I'm gonna go into it another time. All right, but nevertheless, let's continue on with these stats. Did anybody else do anything? What was this? Michael Wilson, 61 yards receiving. Trey McBride, five receptions for 55 yards. Okay. Nobody. Who else did? Yeah, like I said, George Pickens. All right, so I said CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions for 85 yards. George Pickens, 6 receptions for 79 yards. So, yeah. Jake Ferguson, 5 receptions for 50 yards. So, yeah. Yeah, George Pickens has been going to Dallas has been the best decision of George Pickens' life. I mean, aside from the record, but production-wise, he's producing. He's producing. All right, so that's it for the primetime games. Like I said, the Ravens got a steep hill to climb, but I think they can do it. They can get 10 wins. They can get 10 wins out of the next stretch of games that they got. So, yeah, we're gonna see what happens. What happens with that? The Commanders. All right, so we got Marcus Mariota starting next week. They said that depending on the damage to the ligaments, Jaden Daniels might not miss that much time, but we're gonna see. And and Jacoby Brissett is back. So yeah, we're gonna see where that goes. Cause see, people forget that when Daniel Jones, the Colts quarterback now. When Andrew Luck dropped the bomb on the Colts, the day before the season started, a few years ago, Jacoby Brissett held that team down. I mean, they weren't doing nothing impressive, but they were still competitive. You know, they were they didn't really just they didn't just take it, you know, like yeah, Jacoby was just competent enough to work with what the Colts had. And yeah, I think that they should have, not saying that they, well actually no, hold on, let me take that back. Cause what happened after that, they got they had Phillip Rivers. Who did they have last year? Oh man, oh my God. But nevertheless, they got Daniel Jones this year. So yeah. Oh no, they had Carson Wentz last year. Or was that the year before last? I don't know. But yeah, nevertheless, they are where they at now. I think they should have kept him for a couple years, just to see what they had. But hey, nevertheless. All right. In any case, those are the primetime game breakdowns. What did you think? How do you feel about the Ravens? The Ravens getting the W. Do you think they're gonna get 10 wins before the end of the season? How you feel about Marcus Mariota? Are the Seahawks a legitimate contender now once again? And what's Arizona going to do? Put your comments in the comment section down below. We're going to chop it up and start this conversation. My name is Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.